And all of a sudden that was broken up by a judge who was able to, a brilliant judge actually, who was able to see through what was happening. And it's a sad situation. I mean, nobody should be happy about this. I'm not happy about it. Nobody is. It's a very sad thing. It's so bad for our country. But, you know, if you think about it, I've been under investigation from the day I came down the escalator, and a phony investigation, fake investigations, investigations that I beat every single time, still under investigations. But it's a very sad thing, and it's a slippery slope, and dangerous, very dangerous for our country.
President Trump there speaking to NBC's Meet the Press. Bit of breaking news for you. We mentioned the story earlier that the former president of the Spain Football Federation is due in court today. We just got pictures of him arriving at that court in Madrid just moments ago. There is Mr. Rubiales. He's in court today to face questions over allegations of sexual assault. He'll give testimony in front of a judge investigating that infamous kiss of Spain's Jenny Hermoso after Spain won the World Cup a few weeks ago. The father of Starr Sharif and two others will appear in court this morning, charged with her murder. Irfan Sharif, Bainash Batul and Faisal Malik are also accused of causing or allowing the death of a child. The 10-year-old was found dead in her home in Woking in August. Our correspondent Rachel Venables has more for us on this. And Rachel, over the last 24, 48 hours, we were waiting to see if they would be charged at all and exactly what for, but murder tops the list.
Absolutely, murder. 3 members of Starr Sharif's family, her dad, her stepmother and her uncle, are all due in court, Guildford Magistrates Court to be precise, we expect a matter of hours for the first time after being charged overnight. Surrey Police putting out the press release saying that the Crown Prosecution Service had authorised charges of murder against the 3 of them and of causing or allowing the death of the child. You can see here on our screens her dad, Irfan Sharif, who's 41 years old, his partner, Bainash Batul, who's 29, and his brother, Faisal Malik, 28 years old, all from Hammond Road in Woking, and as I mentioned, all due to appear at Guildford Magistrates Court at some point today. And this is all after the body of 10-year-old Sarah was discovered in the empty family home in Woking just over 5 weeks ago. She'd suffered multiple and extensive injuries over a sustained and extended period of time. Now, it later emerged that the family had left the UK the day before she was found, heading to Pakistan with Sarah's 5 siblings. Last week, footage sent to broadcasters, including Sky News, showed Ms. Batul sitting next to Mr. Sharif, speaking publicly for the first time since her death. She described it as an incident, but saying that they are willing, the family, to cooperate with UK authorities and to fight their case in court. Then on Wednesday, the trio were arrested moments actually after landing at Gatwick Airport on a flight from Dubai. And we know they've been held, certainly in custody. They've been questioned, and that resulted in those charges overnight. In a statement, Surrey Police said that Sarah's mother has been informed of this latest development and is being supported by specialist officers.
Rachel, thanks so much for that. Rachel Venables there. You're watching Sky News today. Lots more still to come this hour. Tensions rise in Iran as the first anniversary of the death of Mahsa Amini approaches. We'll have more on the devastating floods in Libya, and I'll be speaking to an aid volunteer who's headed to one of the worst affected areas live on the ground. And we'll tell you about the new findings that may bring hope to the fight against polluted oceans. Lots more still to come. Don't go anywhere.
Enormous explosion has just come down.
I'm Stuart Ramsey, and I'm Sky's chief correspondent. You either live and recover, or you die.
Forces have deployed troops and armoured vehicles to surround the grave of Mahsa Amini ahead of the first anniversary of her death. Her death in police custody sparked the biggest anti-regime protests in the country for 4 decades. Since those protests erupted last year, more than 22,000 people have been arrested for taking part. 500 people have been killed in the unrest, 70 of them children. And there have been another wave of arrests ahead of Saturday's anniversary, with Mahsa Amini's uncle among those detained. Well, Sky's Sahar Zand travelled to Turkey, where she met a network of people who've fled Iran.
Dressed in black and armed with Molotov cocktails. These protesters are preparing to once again take to the streets. In response, Iran's cleric rulers have ramped up a widespread and intensified crackdown on dissent, often with horrific consequences. Behzad is one of those paying the price for daring to demand change in Iran. The father of 2 was shot in the eye during one of the protests by the security forces.
I was wearing a pair of prescription glasses. He fired, and the bullet went right through the glass and into my eye. Everything went black.
Behzad was helped by other protesters to escape and hide in a nearby apartment. One of them was a nurse. She helped clean his wound, taking out the shards. And he wasn't alone. Hundreds were victims of the Islamic Republic's systemic targeting of the protesters' eyes.
There's a hospital called Fabi, which is known as the slaughterhouse. It was notorious because almost everyone who went there, more than 90%, ended up having their eyes taken out, even if it wasn't necessary.
Doctors were ordered to turn in protesters to the authorities. So after Behzad's eye was removed in the hospital, he was arrested. Behzad, along with many others, have been forced to escape to neighboring countries like Turkey, seeking safety and medical treatment. Do you ever regret taking part in the protests?
No, not at all, because I fought for a free and prosperous Iran. Once Iran is free, all this pain and suffering will finally be forgotten.
Last September saw the beginning of a months-long anti-regime uprising across Iran, the biggest the country has seen in decades. The government's response was brutal. More than 500 were killed, around 70 of them children. Thousands were imprisoned and 7 were executed. After the anniversary of Mahsa Amini's killing, a string of other anniversaries will follow, each marking the brutal crackdown by the Iranian regime. And each one of those dates will renew the anger, grief and trauma, carrying the potential for further unrest. That is exactly what the Islamic Republic seemed to be trying to prevent at all cost. Families of victims, lawyers and activists are amongst those aggressively targeted. Shilan Mirzai is an exiled Iranian activist in hiding. Her days are spent supporting victims of the brutal crackdown. She's in touch with dozens of people in Iran on a daily basis who've been reporting an increase of pressure and harassment. Something that Shilan herself is grappling with.
Over the past year alone, my father in Iran has been arrested at least 6 times because of my activism. So has my brother and my little sister, who was threatened with rape. I want to say it loud and clear. I'm not scared of the Islamic Republic. Even if they kill my father, I will keep on fighting. I did ask my dad once, Daddy, if you tell me to stop, I will. And he said, don't mind what happens to me, even in the worst case scenario. We can't speak out for ourselves, but you can be our voice.
Sahar Zand, Sky News.
Now time for a quick look at the weather.
Warm memories wherever.
Today will bring some rain, but over the weekend it will become more widely unsettled with increasing heat and humidity. England and Wales will have a mostly dry and warm afternoon with plenty of sunshine. The far north of England will, however, be cool and wet, along with much of Northern Ireland and southern Scotland. Ireland will see rain as well, heavy in the south with a risk of flooding, but it will probably only affect the south mainly. Meanwhile, northern Scotland looks mainly fine, with strong winds over Shetland easing, but a few showers likely. The slow-moving rain will become increasingly patchy overnight while clearing much of Ireland and Northern Ireland. That's your latest weather. Man has died following a dog attack in Stonnell on Thursday. That's coming from the West Midlands Ambulance Service. Of course, there's been quite a lot of focus of late on certain breeds of dogs and attacks on individuals. This one, of course, particularly tragic. It's led to the death of a man in Stonnell in Walsall, 3 p.m. On Thursday. The ambulance service confirming that one ambulance was sent, 2 paramedic officers, a Merit trauma doctor and a critical care paramedic, and the Midland Air Ambulance also went there. And upon arrival, they found a man who had sustained multiple life-threatening injuries and was in a critical condition. And treatment continued both en route to the hospital and at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Unfortunately, after arrival at hospital, despite best efforts, it became clear nothing more could be done to save him, and he was confirmed deceased. So yesterday, a man in Walsall dying from a dog attack. You're watching Sky News today. Lots more still to come. Up next, we will be discussing the tragic situation in the Libyan city of Derna with an aid worker on the ground there.
The world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my matchless Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness. So What did that? Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio.
This is Starr Radio
UK. By the people.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you watching us live, you will see that our images have changed a bit. Just bear with me, because the technical team are working on it. That seems to be why we'll be caught up and seem to be a bit late. But wherever you are, welcome to the Starr Radio UK Friday edition of the morning show. Let me quickly say good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Olayomi, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Anthony Adedeji, good morning to you. Reverend Jocelyn Dankwa, good morning to you. And to you all wonderful people tuning in this morning to watch us live on Starr Radio UK, I salute each and every one of you, and I say welcome to the show. But while the technical team continues to do some work on the broadcasts, let us just quickly Move on to look at what the program outline for today. But whilst I bring you the program outline, I'll just bring you whatever it takes there. The quote for the day says, "When you see people as doors, you enter them with care." That's why it's very important that when you meet anybody, you respect them. That's what it means in a nutshell. Starr Radio UK. Now on the weather front this morning as well. Well, this afternoon will start with plenty of sunshine. As the day progresses, some patchy cloud will develop. However, it will remain dry throughout. Now, this evening will be clear and dry for all. It will remain similarly overnight, but cloud will build in from the west by dawn. Top temperature is going to be 25 degrees. Otherwise, it's going to be 13 degrees. Pouring level, my apologies. UV level moderate, pollution low there as well. Sunset 19:16 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:35 hours. For Saturday, temperature will be 26 degrees. The lowest is going to be 16 degrees. Sunday, a mixture of rain, cloud, and temperature 22 degrees. The lowest 16 degrees. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast, and let's move on straight to the travel updates. So on your travels this morning as well, those of you traveling on the major roads in London, 831684 has got serious delays, so if you can avoid it, do your best to do so. On the underground this morning, the Jubilee line has got minor delays, and the London Overground has got part suspension and severe delays. Check before you leave. The River Bus is running a good service. The London Cable Car a good service there as well, and that brings us straight to the National Rail. That's the final segment of the travel update. And on the final segment, the National Rail, the South Eastern, and Transport for Wales have all got minor delays. And that is where I would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your comment for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads. A quick commercial break and we come back. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Okay, welcome back to the program. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only Archie. Let me say good morning to Bishop Adeshina, my bishop, wherever you are. I hope you are doing very, very well. I salute you and to every one of you. Pastor Mo, our protocol observed. Let me put it that way. And once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's quickly move on to the global threat before we bring Mr. Olayomi Koiki on to bring you all that you need to know pertaining to the stories that is making the rounds from Nigeria this morning. Well. Somebody say miracles never ceases. In our part of the world, it continues each day. But what is going on in Nigeria this morning? The story says we are a good example in Africa. Military committed to Nigeria's democracy. Nigeria Army is saying. So whether it's saying that, well, they are giving their full support to the presidency or the president or the government. Now, Agenda 2050 plan will reduce poverty. Ex-minister is saying experts urge federal government to apply Benin Republic port community system model. And IGP orders immediate dismantle of all illegal checkpoints across the 36 states. So what are they talking about there? Are they trying to talk about what is happening in the southeast as well? Well. We'll see what happens from there. It is Starr Radio UK. Now, in other parts of Africa as well, the US has resumed surveillance flights over Niger. The United States has resumed its surveillance flight over Niger, which had been interrupted with the military coup at the end of July. A Pentagon source has said. But the question is it amicable or they are just using their military power to do so? Egyptians French foreign minister hold talks in Cairo. It's one of the stories making around. Morocco unveils rehousing program for quick hit areas. How quick are they going to be getting that? It's another story. And EU sends aid to Libya as devastating floods death toll rises to over 11,000. But the mayor of that particular suburb says that, well, he is of the view that it's going to be increasing. It's going to be more than what we are seeing there. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, you've made huge losses in 6 years. Resign now after forcing to Buahin, the Cocoa Board chairman or boss. Yeah, so we'll see what happens from there. Stop questioning professional integrity of medical practitioners. Omane Buama to critics. It's one of the stories making the rounds in Ghana as well. A House houseboy who allegedly murdered her madam a month after starting work has been arrested. That's a serious one. My goodness. Rallying support for Kennedy Japan in the best interest of Ghana. Willie wants Kennedy Japan to be the president of Ghana one day. Oh my goodness. Oh, that would be diplomacy thrown out of the window. But maybe he's Takashi. But well, he's a businessman, so maybe he knows his way around. Train drivers announced more strikes on 30th of September and 4th of October in long-running dispute over pay. It's what is happening here in the UK. A man attacked by 2 dogs near school dies. A man suffered fatal injuries when attacked by 2 dogs in the street near a school in Staffordshire. It's one of the stories making the rounds there as well. And the father among 3 judges charged with murder of Sarah Sharif, the stepmother and uncle of the 10-year-old who was found dead at home, have also been charged. All right then. And Iran, defiant women, I wear what I like now. Well. Can they stand the authorities there? Well, the authorities have deployed police to the burial site of the lady that who's dead brought about that uprising. Lots more going to be coming your way from there. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Taiwan tells Elon Musk it is not for sale. Mr. Musk draws anger from Taipei again for his comment saying the island belongs to China. I don't know. Well, maybe he's selling the truth. So in that case, can we say that the colonial masters, places or countries that they've taken, we want everybody to take their hands off it? When does it end? Okay. U.S. envoy questions China defense minister's absence. Li Shangfu absence in recent weeks has triggered speculation of a corruption purge in the military. Well, some of the stories making the rounds. What Hunter Biden charges mean for the president? Well, the president, they couldn't get anything against him, but their son allegedly is even an addict of cocaine and so all sorts. Well, would that put the knife straight into the chances of Joe Biden being re-elected? And does that put the wave or the wind in the sails of that of Donald Trump? This and a lot more going to be coming your way. Let's take this musical break quickly, and we'll be bringing you Mr. Olayomi Kweki. Stay tuned and don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And this is from Christopher Martin. Well, another week is gone by. The goodness of God. Enjoy it and I'll be with you. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. So good, yes. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You know I love your voice, for you have led me through the fire in darkest nights. You are close like no other. You know I've known you as a father. You know I've known you as a friend. And I have believed in the goodness of God. Oh, yeah. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Of God is running after us, and that's what has sustained us throughout the week, and it's ushered us into a new week where we are and where you are as well. And I hope that you've done very, very well, no matter what you've been going through or the challenges, and I hope that you are doing good there. But it's 9 minutes past the top of the hour. Once again, I apologize sincerely for the late start of the program. Yes, we were having some technical hitches there, so Mr. Francis guy is working assiduously to sort it out. Don't you worry, that's why you see some bar in my camera, but don't you worry, because we have to come your way, we have to do so. Okay, but I can tell you assuredly that, well, without a fail, we know we have Mr. Olayomi who has just joined in all the way from our North London studios to bring you updates from Nigeria this morning. So it's my singular honor once again to introduce to you the white lion himself, Mr. Olayomi this morning. And let me say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. A very good morning to our listeners and our viewers from around the globe. And welcome once again to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. It is the end of the week, and it is now just 10 minutes past, like you said, but we will still be able to catch up, to some of the news and the information that we need to share, this Friday, the 15th day of September 2023.
Yes. How are you doing? How is the family?
Well, we give thanks. The family are doing very well, and I hope yours are doing great as well.
Oh, yes. Everyone is doing very, very, very well. Okay. Now, let's crack on. First of all, we are a good example in Africa. Military committed to Nigeria's democracy. That's what the Nigeria Army is saying. Now, when the Nigeria Army says that, well, we know that it's the bosses who are making that statement. But how true is that, Yomi?
Well, looking at the some of the latest events, in the last couple of months, from July, we saw the coup in Niger. That has not even yet been sorted out, and we saw the coup as well in Gabon. But it seems that the Nigerian military saying that I think they are still a little bit much different by still showing the example. And what example are we talking there? The example that they have not been able to overthrow the government as we see. I mean, nobody wants a coup, but as we always say, the reason why there is coup is because of a lot of different factors, and those factors literally means that until we have a democracy within that continent that respect rule of law. So this morning, the headline is, we are a good example in Africa. The military are committed to Nigerian democracy. This is literally coming from the Nigerian armed forces. In this regard, the Nigerian army remains unwavering in its commitment to setting good examples for other armies to be able to emulate. Well, should we say that the other armies are not emulating something good, or should we say that countries like Gabon, where rule of law have not been respected, and the military decided that for the wish of the people, we will take over, or should we say Niger, where even the present administration have been able to work with the American government. Up till today, the American government refused to call them coup d'etat, and that literally means that the air base that was produced in 2019 that cost the American government up to $110 million is now back in operation.
Well, it's quite an interesting one because, you know, when you have the hierarchy, the military hierarchy coming to say, you know what, we support you, that means that they are being taken properly care of. But when you look at the Nigerian military as a whole, do you think that they are being properly taken care of? I mean, just looking at them, maybe having a chat, maybe there's a military personnel that you know, we're not mentioning names, but do you think they are well catered for?
Well, I think the new administration, you know, yesterday, remember, we talked about almost 7,000 military personnel that died from 2015 will now be given opportunity, you know, for the family to get some kind of, you know, payment. You wonder why many of the military personnel are struggling is because of lack of commitment from the hierarchy, you know, to make sure that, you know, things that are needed are provided, you know, for those military personnel. But it seems that the new sheriff in town is trying to be a little bit different from his predecessors, and that is why, you know, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tabiri Lagbaja, says the Nigerian Army is an exemplary in Africa, and we also remain committed to upholding the country's constitution and defending its flourishing democracy. The question is, how many more of the military personnel will be taken care of, whether those that have died in services or those that are still alive, when it comes to the necessary equipment to fight the terrorism taking place in the country. Mr. Lagbaja gave the assurance to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the unflinching loyalty, commitment of the army to the defense of the nation's flourishing democracy, and the most important thing, upholding the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting one there. So those in the hierarchy and those who have been, I mean, who have died in action, if they are going to be taken care of, that means that we are all okay. But what about the general people in Nigeria? But I mean, I will give it. Let me give a thumbs up to Tinubu for his actions so far. So far, I mean, with his actions, I mean, someone would say that, well, he seemed to be, I mean, cracking the whip. But how much or how long or how far would he go with it? And is it going to be serving the whole of Nigerians, or are we going to be seeing some U-turns or all that stuff that we normally see when it comes to our leaders? I mean, just maybe when they came in, they just do some hanya, and then after that, well, the forces behind the scenes trying to clamp down on them because they are coming after their own. Listeners, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, with Mr. Olayomi in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we are bringing you everything that you need to know this morning. So stay tuned and don't you go away. Okay, let's move on straight to the other story that is making the headlines, a big one from the Agenda 2050. Now, we had Ghana, I think we had Vision 2020. Now we are in 2023. I don't think they realized that vision. They never did. We always set the agenda. I mean, of course, the good book says that, well, you have to plan your way. If you don't plan, you don't plan, you plan to fail. So you have to plan. To succeed, you have to plan. That is what we want to do. But have we ever been able to actually realize something? At least, let's say, if not 100%, maybe call it, maybe 60% or 50% of whatever agenda that we put across Agenda 2050. Yami, tell us more about that. Would that reduce poverty?
Well, again, when we talk about the agenda, what do we talk about? Let's go back to Nigeria 2020 Voluntary National Review on the Sustainable Development Goals SDG. The focuses and the key issues of that was the SDG 1 and the inclusive economy, SDG 8, health and well-being, SDG 3, education, SDG 4, gender equality, SDG 5, and the enabling environment of peace and security, and the SDG 16 partnership. The question is, if you pick on the SDG 3, many Nigerians are still not able to have access to good health care and well-being. When we talk about the economy, which we're going to be talking about later on, the Nigerian debt has literally jumped from 75% in the last 3 months, 18, about 87 trillion. Let's again go back to the SDG 3. The SDG 3, the SDG 4 is education. We've seen the collapse of the education in Nigeria as we've been talking about it. But the expectation is that the Nigerian should be able to complete their 2030 vision. Whether that is going to happen or not, we would have to continue to monitor that. But what we can say is that when it comes to Africa, most of them have not been really committed to the SDG, and the part of the discussion at the United Nations General Assembly later on this month, in the next couple of days or weeks rather, would be focused on the SDG, and will Nigeria be able to complete the SDG and allow certain things to work? Well, it says that going back to some of what has been said in the past, let's go back to this was around May. We won't leave any Nigeria behind achieving the SDG goals. This is actually coming just before the new administration. The federal government has again reiterated its commitment to include every stakeholders in its path to achieve the 2020 to 2030 Sustainable Development Goals agenda. That means we now have 7 years for the federal government to make sure that no Nigerians are left behind.
Well, no Nigerians are left behind. Will that become a reality? Or it's one of those things, just a gimmick where we all come just say that agenda, whatever, SGB and all that. But when it comes to the pockets of individuals, they don't feel no SGD or whatever. But has Nigeria got, or because of the federal system, I want to know a bit, educate me a bit there, have they got a national agenda where we all want to be, or is the state that sets the agenda?
Well, I mean, you've got to look at it from the manifestos of each of the political party, and that literally means that each political party set up their own agenda, and that agenda would also have to work from the Minister of Education plan to make sure that education is a top priority for as many Nigerians and those that are also the unborn Nigerians as well. But it seems that, like I said, the education sector in Nigeria has not really performed well. It has literally dropped drastically, and the reason for that is so many things. 3 weeks ago, the 7 major tasks before the Nigeria new education minister, Tai Mama, and this is what he will have to deal with. The education minister may have to mandate all agencies under his watch, including university, polytechnics, college of education, to publish their income and expenditure at interval so as to encourage transparency in the sector. Nigerian new Minister of Education must already know his most important task and know how they will test his political leadership skills. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria, so he's well read. So at least he has an understanding of these positions. He's also among the 45 ministers that was appointed some few weeks back. Mr. Mama will be assisted in the ministry by the Minister of State Yusuf Sununu. Both men work event of the past year have laid out most of their pressing responsibility. But again, many of the academic staff union of university constantly always find itself left with strike option in dispute with the previous government. I hope that will not take place this time around.
Okay, listeners, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's see, because if they say they are there to serve the people, we want to see it by action. That after how many years, and then we come back before we go for another election, people can boldly say that, look, I think that this was where I was as at the time that they were making that promise, and after this time, this is where I am. And that will be a testament to what the government has achieved. So if they say
there has to be a total haul of the of that particular sector, because we've seen that sector not progressing for a very long time. And again, just yesterday, one of the headlines that I picked up, still on the same conversation this morning, says, and I quote, "The minister canvasses total overhaul of the Nigeria's higher education system." The Minister of Education and Education, Professor Tahir Mama, has said there is a need for a total overhaul of the Nigerian's higher education system to bring the country's university and other tertiary institutions to at par with others around the globe.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I was just looking at one other story whilst Yomi was going on, in line with what the military were saying, that they were supporting the president. But the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party has warned that the level of poverty and anger in the country is capable of snowballing into serious crisis if not urgently addressed. Now, the board, which met in Abuja on Thursday, also rejected the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Court, that's PEPT, which upheld the election of Bola Tinubu. Now, commending its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar for following due process of the law, the board said it was confident that the Supreme Court has the capacity and courage to right the wrongs and whatever. Now, we know that Tinubu's ascension to the office of the presidency, the throne of the presidency, he has come out and said that, look, I stopped that. I know that it's difficult, but I beg you Nigerians to bear with me, and I can tell you that we are charting the right course in just a matter of time. But for the PDP to now say this, that means that they are saying that, look, the difficulty that is going on now, whatever Tinubu is doing, is not even scratching the surface at all. So we talk about the palliative during the course of the week, and we're talking about the fact that a bag of rice for 12 households, I mean, what would that be? Is it for a day? Yomi?
You're quite right. I think the PDP as an opposition must have to check, the decisions and the policy of the new administration. As much as there's still a court case between the two political parties, but again, just like it's done here on different part of the globe, it is the opposition that must continue to checkmate, the new policies of this administration. Yes, it's been a roller coaster for this administration. There's no money, and the government is trying everything possibly best. And the only way you can resolve the issue when it comes to, the food crisis. The food crisis in Nigeria is not something that, started 3 days ago. It has been an issue that needs to be resolved. I was picking up on the APC national chairman and the former governor of Kano State, Gandude, that was telling the president during a visitation that there are 4 types of herdsmen that are creating problems in Nigeria. And the reason why there is so much problems in the agriculture sector is because of the damage. But it seems that, again, the former president Muhammadu Buhari tried everything to resolve the issue between the farmers, those that are committing the crimes as well. But Bola Tinubu says the government will have no other choice than to buy land for the herders, blames the past leaders. Again, he's blaming for the former president Muhammadu Buhari for failing to resolve the herder-farmer conflict. According to the establishment of the committee, followed the submission of a report from the National Conference of Livestock Reforms and the Mitigation of Associated Conflict in Nigeria. Yesterday, I was having a conversation and I was saying a farmer that had the 2 hands chopped off. I mean, you can imagine that farmer has been left, out of the industry because of the attack that happened to him right at his farm. But President Bola Tinubu has blamed the past Nigerian leaders, from Buhari to Jonathan and so many others, for failing to resolve the recurring clashes between the herders and the farmers across the country. Tinubu said this in Abuja yesterday, when he established the presidential committee dedicated to reform of the livestock industry and the provision of a long-term solution to the reoccurring. The question is, will these herders stick to one location, or will they continue to move with their animals from one end to the other? I'm going to come back again to you in the studio, where I'm going to pick exactly how the APC chairman has also been able to now identify some of those that are creating the problem that we are currently experiencing in Nigeria today.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting one from there. Starr Radio UK, Mr. Olayomi Koike in the North London studios, and I'm Archie here in the South studios. And I apologize for the images from the studio here in the South. Yomi's images seem to be working perfectly, but here in the South there seems to be a bit of a problem, technical issue there, but we have got the technical team working on it, so just bear with us whilst we do so. But it's quite interesting. Now the presidency or Tinubu saying that, well, the former leaders did not deal with the situation, so he's going to be dealing with that, with the headers issue. But my question this morning has been, now if they buy stretches of land or portions of land for them, are there lands that will be cultivated so that, or with grass, so that these herdsmen will not need to move their heads around? Would they decide to stay there? And is there going to be a corridor where they, if they want to, assuming they're coming from Niger, assuming they're coming from, is there going to be a corridor where they'll be going through that, throughout to wherever they are going, and not entering somebody's farm or village to destroy anything there? What do you think? What do you think will happen?
Well, let's look at what the former governor of Kano State and the current national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, that has now been able to identify 4 types of the herdsmen operating in Nigeria. Let's go into it. He identified that the 4 types of herdsmen are settled herdsmen. These herdsmen will live in one place and do not move around. Probably maybe these are the kind of the target from the new administration. He said they typically cause no problems. The migratory herdsmen, these are herdsmen who moved from the north to the central to the southern part of Nigeria. According to him, they sometimes cause problems along the way. How would they be able to convince such of individuals to have a permanent location? And probably they have to start growing their own food. Again, remember that the reason why the cows are moving very fast, they need to consume a lot of water as well. Again, according to him, they sometimes cause problems along the way. He also talked about the transhumanist herdsmen. These are herdsmen who move from West Africa to the northern Nigeria, the middle belt, the southern part of the country. They also often cause problems in the areas that they pass through. Settled herdsmen among ethnic nationalities. These are herdsmen who have settled among certain ethnic groups in Nigeria. They typically have a good relationship with their host communities. The question then is, how will this present administration deal with those that are committing the crime? Because Bola Tinubu says the government will buy land for the herders, and he has actually blamed the past leaders for failing to resolve herders and farmers conflict.
Well, somebody will say that if it was that easy to be done, then the former leaders would have sorted it out. But that means it is not. And again, like you are saying, as to whether that communique, whatever agreement, communication will be, it will be understood by these headsmen, especially the migrant ones, not the ones who are staying in one place, and then those who are moving in from the trans one, the ones who are coming from various African countries and coming to that place. But when it comes to the vegetation, I'm sorry that we are keeping a bit of time there, but when it comes to the vegetation of Nigeria, which part do you think have got lovely vegetation, so nice grass, and that people, cattle will want to have that? Which area are you looking at?
Well, definitely, the southern part has, the kind of grass, and also because of the waterways in that particular. The northern part of Nigeria do not have enough water and that means that they have to come all the way down. And again, with the climate change and so many of the problems, the northerners have to bring those cows further down, so that they can be able to have enough grass and enough water along the roads.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Mr. Olayomi Kokin and North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios. We're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now, let's move on to one. There are two stories there. They are very, very important. Okay, let's start first of all on the IGP's orders. Now, the IGP has ordered that immediate dismantle of all illegal checkpoints across the 36 states. Now, which checkpoints are this? Are they checkpoints that have been mounted by the police? And he is saying that they should dismantle it, or is it checkpoints that when you go to the southeast, when they're saying that look, there should be a stay at home, and therefore they put maybe some checkpoints there on Mondays or days that they are saying that to make sure they police what they have said. So which one is he talking about there?
Well, the 36 states checkpoint must now be dismantled. That is the news coming from the security operatives back in Nigeria. The reason why there's checkpoint, from the previous government is to be able to checkmate, those that are moving, arms, drugs, also because of the insecurity in the country. But it seems that some part of the country, like the southeast, have been marginalized when it comes to the checkpoint, and that literally have created tension as well. But it seems that the news coming out today, all those checkpoints must now come off, so that the question is, even if these orders are given, we still know that some of these security personnel do not listen. They still create those checkpoints, whether during the night time when it's a little bit quiet. But because the Nigerians are becoming much more smarter as well, much of the videos are coming onto the social media, and that literally means that the new Inspector General of Police would definitely have to review if the checkpoint are being disembarked or not. But like I said, the previous government tried it, but it failed. Let's hope this new administration and the new Inspector General of Police, Egbetokun, will be able to look into it, just like the other security operatives as well in the country.
I don't think it's a wise thing, especially having a porous border, and then with a case where we have people crossing in. So if they cross and come into the country in the first place because of the porous border, and you are not being now able to be allowed to check people who are moving across the states. So let's say some people have is it Dr. Obadia who died? Is it the one who died? Yeah, who was talking at the time about what the movement of arms by, is it Fulani or Boko Haram, or up and down the country and stuff like that. So if those things are not in place, how can you know who is coming in? Or is that the police will now stop a van or a car and say, hey, let's see, we suspect that you have something. But with a checkpoint, you know that these vehicles, these are the only way, these are the only routes, and then you can somewhere else. Well, especially our porous borders. How are Nigerians taking that instruction, that statement by the IGP?
Well, again, like I said, checkpoints for reasons, we've got a porous border in the country, and those porous border have not literally helped the migration of individuals. If you look at what the APC chairman said, who are those bringing in the cows? Are they even paying tax in the first place? From then committing as many crimes and destroying lives and properties of those that they are traveling with their animals. Some of those checkpoints have been very successful, stopping illegal firearms in the country. But again, many Nigerians have fallen into the trap of thinking that the checkpoint is a legitimate one, is legal one, only to find out at the last seconds that these are terrorists also operating in the military uniform. And many Nigerians have been kidnapped in that kind of ways, from different part of the country. So you literally can see that there's a checkpoint ahead of you, and you can see that these are, men in military uniform. And, you just have to, pull the vehicle. But at the last minute, these are terrorists that end up, taking away some of those innocent Nigerians into the forest, and sometimes they get killed, and some end up paying ransom.
Well, it's interesting. If that is going to curb the kidnapping and stuff like that, good. But if you are driving and you're going to, there's a checkpoint there, and they put tires or they put some goods there, are you going to drive through them? What will you do? So we need a security agency to be up and acting and running and making sure that if you say no checkpoints along the routes, we see their presence there, and it will help curb all this. Listen, as a Star Radio UK, it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 11:38. My apologies. One more, then I'll let Yomi go on. Okay, you talk about this one, and it goes on with the others. Now, experts urge the federal government to apply Benin Republic port community system model. Now, what has been the Nigeria port model system? Why they are now saying that they should take what Benin is doing? I don't know if Benin and Togo have got free ports. Is that what they're talking about there, or is this the way that they clear their goods and stuff like that? Yomi?
Well, already some Nigerians in some part of the country are not even happy with the announcement from the government that Nigerians can now use Benin Republic, to offload their goods when there's a Warri port. The question is, why is the Warri port not, being put in place rather than the Benin Republic? So you can see that Nigerians are asking questions, but experts have now urged the federal government to apply the Benin Republic port community system model. What does that mean? The experts in the Nigerian maritime sector have advised the federal government to copy the web port model of the port community system being used in the neighboring Benin Republic. Speaking at the 2023 Port Industry Town Hall meeting that took place in Lagos and was organized by the online media, the expert agreed that the web port model has proven to enhance national security, also help the improve revenue collection, promote trade at the seaport, airport, and the land border. Speaking of a manager in charge of the installation at the Web Fountain Nigeria Limited, Larry Barogo, said the port community system has achieved seamless interactions between system used by the port authority, the custom, the terminal operators from data exchange, and the most important, the logistic billing and payment. I've been able to send goods to Nigeria in the past, and I had the opportunity to be on the ground, trying to clear the same goods. The problem and the issues from the port can be a little bit stressful as compared to sending the goods itself from where you are, and sometimes you don't even know the exact amount you're paying when your container arrives in Nigeria. So literally, you could be charged exorbitant away from the money that will be going into the federal government coffer. But the question is, with the new administration in place and the bottleneck that is there in Apapa, maybe now that we are trying to send the goods and bring it through Benin Republic, the question also is, what happened to the remaining ports? Why are they not put in operation? Or is it going to cost the government money that they don't have, and they will have to get the investors in? When Benin Republic port is already in operation, we might as well just have a cordial relationship with them. Balogun also went to say that all port processed under the web port regime enjoy speedy processing, which I never got when I took my goods to Nigeria, some few years back. From electronic manifest declaration through electronic payment of all duties and fees. There are too many Agbiru at the Apapa port today, and sometimes you might even be paying someone that has nothing to do as a government official.
Well, it's not only peculiar to Nigeria. It's the same thing when it comes to Ghana. So you have some people bringing their goods through Lome, then Togo ports there. But what do you think about all that? If you are listening to us, Have you been treated fairly? Or do you think that Nigeria is big enough to be able to run its own ports? Because if you look at the volumes of goods that are coming into the country, if they put their acts together, it will be making lots of money from there. Why do they give that to Benin Republic to do so? But well, it is all Star Radio UK. 11:52 that I don't know why today I'm saying 10 because I started late. So well, 11:42 the time. Let's go back to Yomi for the rest of the story that's making the rounds and what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you, Yomi.
And let's go straight. 48,000 people from 121 countries have now signed a petition, Nigeria over disability rights. People with disabilities are being hit hardest by the lack of progress on poverty, inequality, according to Mr. Issa Yaku. The promise to leave no one behind is in a peril. Again, we've seen many Nigerians, with physical challenge, we will call them here, that have not been supported from local government, to federal, to state. And the question now is, what impact will these petitions make as it has now been done? The federal government has now received the petition with 48,063 signatures from 121 countries calling for action to protect people with disability rights. The petition came ahead of the United Nations Summit again on the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. Nigeria promised to have it sorted out by 2030. So we literally have 7 years, and that 7 years will be part of this this government as we speak. Joe Tabo, the spokeswoman for Sight Saver Nigeria, disclosed this in a statement Friday after the handover of the petition to the current Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Betty Edu. According to the statement that the government received this petition, the petition that was handed again to Dr. Betty Edu, the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Elevation. What is needed and what should be, the take-home, the outcome of the summit will be a political declaration and a global national commitment. But Sunday, Isiaku Sight Saver Country Director stated that as the world arrives at the halfway point of the 2030, remember that we are still just 7 years before the SDG goals, and remember we talked about no Nigerians will be left behind. People with disability are being hit hardest by the lack of progress, poverty, inequality. The promise is no one is going to be left behind, but it seems many have been left behind. So we will monitor that, in days to come. But as we always say, there's too much poverty on the land, and that means that the federal government has a lot of work to do. Manufactured goods import got $6.7 billion in the last 6 months, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. $6.7 billion was spent on the importation of manufactured goods in the first 6 months of 2023, according to the data from the National Bureau of Statistics. Again, this is not very good for a country that wants to produce, and help the economy. If we continue to bring as many goods outside the country into the country, there will be pressure on the naira. It will continue to be declined, devalue. The dollar will become a little bit more stronger than the naira. But when we have a country that is producing as much of half of what we are, in need of, then there will not be any need for such. But according to the analysis of the Foreign Trade Statistics report that was published by the NBS, the National Bureau of Statistics indicated that the value of manufactured goods trade stood at 2.5 trillion in the first half of the government this year. Over the past few years, manufacturers at various fora had cited 95% of their forex needs were sourced at the parallel market. That literally means that if I need to go bring in toilet roll into the country, I will then not be able to get the dollar from the central bank. I will have to go to the black market, and the exchange rate at the black market is going to be very, very expensive. So we hope and continue to review how this present administration would reduce the importation of manufactured goods. This takes the total export of manufactured goods as well. So we'll monitor that Once again, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station. Again now, where are these goods coming from? And what kind of goods are we talking about? The major goods imported during this period included the use of vehicles with diesel or semi-diesel engines from the United States, United Arab Emirates. I was reviewing the founder of the United Arab Emirates that was born in 1918, just 4 years after the amalgamation of Nigeria. He died in 2004, and you can see the transformation that has taken place in the last 2-3 decades of what is now called the United Arab Emirates. China is bringing a lot of equipment into the manufactured goods into the country, and other medicaments not elsewhere but from India. Again, as many Nigerians need to be taken care of, that means we have to rely on India for our medical equipment. According to him, Nigerian manufacturers are saddled with the high production costs, which ultimately push up the prices of manufactured goods. So that again is coming from one of the headlines, as we're really strained with time this morning at 11:48. Once again, it is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We take one more from the business, then we move straight to the social media. Adeni revolution at the Nigerian custom. This is coming from the acting controller general of the Nigerian Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi. Strong command of the custom regulations, laws and procedures, as well as the availability of navigate and adapt to changing policy, has played a major role in its transformation of services. On the 8th of July this year, President Bola Tinubu approved the appointment of Bashir Adewale Adeniyi as the acting controller of the General Custom. Adeniyi appointment was seen as a major move by the president to make the ports and the custom to be part of the income into the country. For the readers who don't know, Adeniyi possesses over 30 years experience in the custom administration, but we will wait and see what is going to be the outcome of that particular area. We will not allow proprietors to exploit parent. Kano State Governor has promised. The Kano State Governor has warned that henceforth it will not allow private schools proprietors to exploit unsuspecting parents and guidance by increasing and charging school fees at the exorbitant price. We know that the public schools are completely dead. That means many Nigerians will prefer their students to be in the private sector. According to the special advisor of the state governor, private and voluntary institution board, Baba Abubakar Umar, disclosed this during a media briefing that was held yesterday in Kano State. According to him, many of the private schools are charging high school fees was unbecoming, and the government will no longer tolerate such attitude. He said that we have free validation forms to over 7,000 private schools that are currently operating in Kano in the state, but only 3,000 collected the fee and returned the form to the board. And when I came on board, I was faced with a pathetic situation because private schools were operating anyhow. They were exploring parents through increased exorbitant charges at will, despite the current economic situation the country is facing. So, what a good move from the state governor there in Kano State. Now, let's come back now to some of what is being talked about on the social media. The death of Mohbad is still one of the most discussed, on the social media. Remember that he died, some few days ago. I've listened to the PRO of the Lagos State Police. He has been buried, but it seems that they might have to bring him back up so that more medical check can be done while and what led to the death of these young artists as well. Again this morning, another sad news has filtered out. Another Yoruba actor wife died. We pray for mercy and as many of those that are going through a lot in the country this morning. Once again, the Nollywood actor Lekan Olatunji lost his wife. He's an actor, a producer, a screenwriter, has lost his wife Ifedolapo Olatunji to the cold hands of death. Again, yesterday there was another actress that died. We'll try and get the name out yet. Cindy Amadi has passed on, and we pray again for the family of those close to her. She's also a Nollywood actress. Now let's look at what is trending on the X page this morning. It seems that as much of the death of Mohbad is still a talk, because it seems that there was some kind of bully around his death. So it seems that the police will have to look into that. Banned Malian music is trending. Remember that it was labeled to Malian until there was some kind of dispute and he decided to form his own. Biafra land is trending. The Naira is actually trending. And as we say all the time, the Naira is the only currency used in Nigeria. As much as you might think the dollar is needed, that will only be for those that needs to bring the goods in, like we said earlier. And let's see what people are saying when it comes to the Naira this morning. According to 99% of press, I gave you and your co-scammer 2 weeks grace period to pay back the 705 million Naira you guys scammed that company that paid you for the AGO supply. But with this tweet of yours, that grace has been cancelled. So it seems that there's some kind of a problem going on, that sometimes people drag each other to the social media. And this individual said, let me address some recent accusation and harmful allegation that have been circulated about me. I want to make it crystal clear that these claims are absolutely false and baseless. Those who know me understand my values and character. So it seems that is being addressed to the governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party of Kogi State that has been dragged for 702 million Naira. So again, the Naira is trending. And again, as of this morning, it is still about 900 Naira to a dollar, while it is 1,165 to the Naira. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie, as we wind down the weekend. But next week, it's going to be another one ahead.
Well, listeners, let me say thank you very much to Mr. Olayomi Koiki and to every one of you who have tuned in this morning listening to us, and we apologize for that.
Okay, I think I know why more the Naira is trending. Remember that Naira Mali is also linked to that word.
Okay. So
Naira Mali, that was declared wanted in UK, for crimes ranging from robbery to sexual. So it seems that the reason why the Naira is also trending is linking to Naira Mali, the artist that had the label with the death of Mohbad, and that is still dragging on the social media as of this morning.
Well, if it was an abuse that caused the death of Mohbad, then we hope that the security agencies do their diligence, and then the family can get the redress that they need. But listeners, Starr Radio, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, thank you very much for joining in as well. And as many of you who have tuned in this morning to listen to us, our money man, let me say massive good morning to you as well. Okay, Yomi, before you go.
Well, we say let's stick to the platform. Next week, we'll be back again. Remember, we have a lot of programs that run during the weekend. And like the grandmother Comfort Adeleye says, where are the private schools, not the ones who started the increase? Please, I mean the public school. He says that were they not the public school that started it in the first place? David Adegoke say thanks for the program, and I'll be back on Monday morning. May Nigeria not happen to us, as we come back to you on Monday morning for the program on the this update from Nigeria.
Okay, Yomi, let me say thank you very much for that wonderful update from Nigeria. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll catch up later. All right, then, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and it is gone 4 minutes to the top of the hour. We're going to take a musical break, and once we come back, we'll continue with the show. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let me announce this one. Let me take this social, and then we move on. There's going to be a family service, business and wealth creation secrets, on the 17th of that's a Sunday, the 17th of September 2023 at 11 a.m. at RCCG Christ for Life Parish Church in Manchester, UK. I'm going to say Manchester United. I want to say this is not football. In Manchester, here in the UK. Okay, the speaker is BB Clement, a representative of BB Means Business. She's going to be the guest minister. She's a speaker, a trainer, a business consultant, and as you know her very, very, very well on this platform. So join her and the lovely ones who fellowship at the RCCG Christ for Life Parish in Manchester, UK on Sunday, the 17th. That is this Sunday. Today is what? The 15th. So in 2 days time, September 2023, for that wonderful program that's going to be taking place. It's Business and Wealth Creation Secrets. Okay, it's at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a break and I'll be with you.
The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Them all go to universities. Universities award them degrees. Big degrees. Degrees. Big degrees. MSc in stealing. Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement.
This is Starr Radio UK.
In looting. MSc in corruption, Bachelor of Science in nepotism, MSc in forgery, Bachelor of Arts in indiscipline, MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Some of them went to London London School of Fools, where they were awarded degrees in foolishness, PhD in stupidity, MSc in foolishness, PhD dishonesty, PhD in recklessness, Bachelor of Arts in selfishness, MSc in greed, BSc maladministration, PhD in quasi-SM, PhD pull him down, MSc kill your donkey. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things, who run things, who run things.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back on to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12:04, and it is the Friday edition of the morning show. Let me say thank you to the technical team who are working assiduously to make sure that the cameras, that technical issue that we were having before the production, the beginning of the program, was sorted. And so thank you very, very much to you all, gentlemen. All right then, now let me announce the lines open. You want to call in 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58. Just get in touch with us. X, if you want to, our X handle is Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Also, we got a text or WhatsApp number is 0753-966-1744 0753-966-1744. So make sure your dials are linked with us, okay? But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. This afternoon we should be having the money man himself, Mr. Tabiri, joining in. But before I continue, let me take this social announcement quickly, and then we go on. It's a commercial, of course. Now, family service, business and wealth creation secrets on Sunday, the 17th of September. Time 11 a.m. at the RCCG Christ for Life Parish, Manchester, UK. The speaker, the guest minister will be Mrs. BB Clement, speaker, trainer, and business consultant. You remember her? Yes. Send the links to all those who are in Manchester. Let them go there. It is a way of being educated, having the knowledge to make wealth God's way. What about that? Okay. So, Starr Radio UK. All right then, now so let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. As I said earlier on, the lines are open. You want to hop in, you want to share your take in any of the things that we are discussing this morning, feel free to do so, and I will make sure your voice is heard. But just bear with me as I bring you this quick commercial that my producer is saying it is ready to come on. So just bear with me whilst I bring you that.
Hi, my name is BB Clement, and I'm a global speaker in the areas of entrepreneurship and leadership. I'm also the author of the books How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur, as well as Wealth Creation God's Way. Listen, the future Nigeria needs future leaders who are collaborative, financially literate, entrepreneurially savvy, and have a global outlook towards life. But most importantly, they possess a keen sense of personal integrity and social justice. PSG UK, Peace Building and Social Justice UK, are playing their part in equipping such leaders. And if you consider yourself to be such a leader and you want to contribute to the future of the Nigeria that I have described, where peace, prosperity, and social justice are no longer the exception, but indeed the everyday experience of the everyday Nigerian, then don't delay. sign up to the next online Future Leaders Building event. The details are below. Don't delay. Do it now. I look forward to seeing you there and welcoming you. And together, we can definitely build a better Nigeria.
Welcome back to the program. My producer told me that the sound wasn't coming through. Yes. Okay, because my mic was muted. All right then. So we're going to be having Mr. Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services and Money Man, exactly at 12:30. And today we're going to be looking at affordable home ownership schemes. There are some affordable home ownership schemes, and for lack of knowledge, my people perish, and therefore he's going to be putting the knowledge across. And then, as I say that application of knowledge is the way forward. So we want to know more. Stay tuned exactly at 12:30. That is in the next 22 minutes. Mr. Tabiri will be coming your way with affordable home owners schemes. Okay, so now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds this morning across the globe. So what's happening on the African continent? What is happening there? Well, before the General Assembly, the DRC has warned of aggression by Rwanda. On the eve of the United Nations General Assembly, the Democratic Republic of Congo has warned Thursday of the humanitarian tragedy and the damage that is going on there. And the U.S. has resumed surveillance flights over Niger. It's one of the stories. The United States has resumed its surveillance flights over Niger, which had been interrupted with the military coup at the end of July. The Pentagon spokesperson said on Thursday, specifying that the rest of the American military operations in the country remained frozen. We can confirm that U.S. forces in Niger have conducted intelligence and reconnaissance flights to ward off threats and ensure the protection of our forces, said the spokesperson for the Pentagon's Africa Command. We have obtained approval from the appropriate authorities, she clarified, noting nonetheless that the United States always reserves the right to conduct operations with the aim of protecting our forces and our staff if necessary. Although surveillance flights have resumed, exchanges with Nigerian forces such as a training or anti-terrorist cooperation remain frozen, the spokesperson has said. The United States has some 1,100 soldiers stationed in Niger who were operating against jihadist groups active in this region. So what impact have they made so far during the time that they have been there until this coup d'etat? That's the question on the lips of most people. Is it a uranium? What exactly was going on down there? Interesting one. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, let's move on straight to some of the other stories making the rounds on other parts of the world. This time around in Ghana as well. The minority leader in parliament, Dr. Kessel Atuforsen, has called on the chief executive officer of the cocoa board, Joseph Boahin Aidu, to resign over huge losses in the cocoa sector under his watch. Now, despite Ghana being the second largest producer of cocoa, farmers are still struggling to break even as socio-economic development in various cocoa growing areas remains poor. And access to fertilizer and other inputs, including the ravages of illegal mining, are major challenges affecting farmers. In a statement, the minority leader stated that the cocoa board has no excuse than to resign from office. The fact that cocoa board has made huge losses for the last 6 years, 6 consecutive years, that Joseph Boahen Edu has been at the helm of affairs shows that he is grossly incompetent and totally unfit to manage that important state institution. Now, even more bizarre is the fact that the national annual yield of cocoa has sharply declined from 969,000 metric tons to about 650,000 metric tons. Under the watch of the failed CEO of Cocoa Board, this is the lowest cocoa production volume in the last 13 years. He must stop the lies and resign immediately, Dr. Forson has stated. Well, it's quite an interesting one, because I know there is the CEO then under the NDC who is still in court because of the cocoa. They were talking about what fertilizers that were not good and all sorts that they've been talking about there. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to exactement 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Now, Osafo Mafo, senior presidential advisor to the president, Akufo-Addo, Yao Osafo Mafo, is admonishing government appointees to remove their antagonistic stance towards auditors. Now, speaking at the 2023 Internal Auditors Conference here in Accra, Yao Osafo Mafo has criticized the stance of persons who get into power. Many people with various backgrounds are appointed to ministerial positions, and they do not understand the role of their internal auditor. Now, the first thought is to see the internal auditor as a fault-finding institution and therefore as an opponent. Number one, we need to remove the antagonistic stance that is taken when people get into office, Mr. Mafo stated. So does that mean that maybe with the movement or things that other people have been making, there is no, we need to quash the office of the internal auditor so that we can have the external auditors only come and audit the whole thing, which will take them ages to do so. He's ever pushing for the training of appointees on the role of the Auditor General. Now, I will charge the agency to devise a means of educating all new appointed ministers, CEOs, and ambassadors on corporate governance, risk management, and internal control process immediately after they are sworn into office. The special advisor, added. So, what have we been doing to ourselves there? It is all Starr Radio UK. Well. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's move on straight to this part of the world. Look at some of the stories making the rounds here as well. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, bodies of Libya flood victims washed up on beaches 60 miles away. The story says that 8 teams are battling to help survivors and locating the dead 5 days after devastating flooding hits eastern Libya. Thursday, thousands of people were killed when 2 dams burst into the wake of Storm Daniel, washing away whole neighborhoods in the city of Derna. Now, figures of the number of dead vary from around 6,000 to 11,000, and with thousands still missing, the city mayor says the total could reach 20,000. Survivors have described terrifying escapes and people being swept away in front of their eyes. Most of their deaths could have been avoided if warnings had been issued. The UN World Meteorological Organization has said about 30,000 people have been left homeless. The UN International Organization for Migration says and warns of the danger of disease from contaminated water. But the World Organization and other agencies urged Libyan authorities on Friday to stop burying flood victims in mass graves. Where do they want them to be buried? Now, more than 1,000 people have so far been buried in mass graves, according to the UN. The statement urged that the victims should be buried in well demarcated and documented graves as a hasty burial can lead to long-lasting mental distress for grieving family members. The devastating deluge has washed away entire neighborhoods in Denver. Thousands have died, while thousands more remain missing. But so what do they expect them to do now? Should they take their time, dig graves one after the other? Would they have enough space to do so? Or the best bet is to just have a mass grave and have all their, if they have been identified, if that is if, then they can put a sign that their names there and then something of the sort, so that people, their families can come back to. But if you are saying that is going to cause lots of distress for grieving families, lasting mental distress for grieving families, under such circumstance, what do we expect them to do? It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's try to pick a couple of stories more, and then we will be bringing you Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services. And as I did say, this afternoon we're going to be looking at affordable home ownership schemes here in the UK. All right then. Now, Robalis is in court over Women's World Cup case. That case that caused him greatly is one of the stories making around. Former boss of Spain's Football Federation is accused of sexual assault and coercion. It's one of the stories. And U.S. envoy questions China defense minister's absence. It says Li Shangfu absence in recent weeks had triggered speculation of a corruption purge in the military. Where is he? What has he done? Well, two more stories. Okay, three more. Taiwan is telling Elon Musk it is not for sale. Mr. Musk draws anger from Taipei again for his comments saying the island belongs to China. But I'm asking this question this morning, to what end? So there are some let me take Argentina, where the Falk Islands, okay, where Britain here says that they own that place. And I remember the Falkland Wars that took place back in the day. I was young then. I remember it, and then everything that was going on there. But the question again is, at what point do we say that that thing belongs to those people? Though we took it by force or by whatever, but now we have to go back to that and just relinquish our control over it to the indigenes, to the people who owns it. Who? Where would it all end? Well. So Elon Musk saying that, does it say that? Well, what about Hong Kong? What about all the other? What about the other territories that Americans and the British and all the Western countries have taken control of? What about that? Now, Greta Thunberg has been charged after second oil port block. The climate activists refused to end the protest hours after being convicted of a similar offense. Well, she wants to be arrested, and by so doing, saying that, well, she's whipping up sentiments against fossil fuel. But interestingly, we're looking at the cost of living and the situation that is going through. She doesn't pay bills, does she? Well, the parents are doing so for her, so of course you have the time and the strength to do so. But I think Joe Biden is in trouble. Someone will say, how? This time it's not the sins of the fathers visiting the children, but the sins of the children visiting the fathers in this case. What Hunter Biden charges mean for the president? Politically speaking, there are currently two Americas. One is outraged and horrified that the former president, Donald Trump, is facing 91 federal state criminal charges in what they see as a deep state conspiracy orchestrated in part by Joe Biden's Department of Justice. The other believes that their very same Justice Department, has spent 5 years unfairly pursuing Mr. Biden's son, Hunter, over his tax affairs and behavior while a self-declared and repentant drug addict. In other words, both Americans believe that the department responsible for enforcing the law of the land has been taken captive by the other side and is hopelessly politicized. Now, Hunter Biden's law responded lawyer responded to the news that his client had been indicted on 3 federal gun charges by accusing the prosecutor of bending to improper and partisan interference from Trump-supporting Republicans. Meanwhile, Andy Biggs, one of those conservatives in Congress, suggested the charges were simply a maneuver to make it look like the Justice Department was fair. Don't fall for it. They're trying to protect him from the way more serious charges coming his way, he wrote on X, formerly Twitter. So, what do you think about all that? It's quite an interesting one, isn't it? You hit here. Balance, Abby. Good. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Sad story making the rounds here in the UK. A man has been attacked by 2 dogs near school. A man who was attacked by 2 dogs near school has died, and it's quite a serious one. The man, left in a critical condition after being seriously injured in an attack by 2 dogs, has died. The attack happened in Main Street, Starr, near Walsall on Thursday afternoon. Police have said the victim was taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham and was confirmed dead. Emergency services said a man 30 from Lichfield was arrested on suspicion of having dogs dangerously out of control. The attack took place at about 15:15 BST. Members of the public tried to help the victim and attempted to get the dogs off him. Meanwhile, children at nearby St. Peter's Primary Academy were stopped from leaving for safety reasons. One of the dogs was contained outside while the others was contained in the owner's flat. So the question that I ask myself is it now time for the authorities to allow us to have tasers, when, because you're working and you're not sure whose dog is that kind of. So if I have my taser, if your dog is coming at me, I tase it. Yeah, I think that would be the way forward. I didn't say gun, I tase the dog. So maybe we should be having licenses to get tasers. What about that? Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio. Okay. One resident who wished to remain anonymous said in March, a woman and her dogs were seen being chased by the same 2 dogs who killed the man. The resident said the police were called and the owner was given a caution. Now, police have said the breed of the animals was still being established. A 63-year-old resident and dog walker told the press association she saw the air ambulance land in a local park and said the center of the village had been shut. We are all a bit shook up, she said. Shook up, my apologies. A bit shook up, she said. As dog walkers here, we all know each other. When we realized that something horrific had happened, we all spoke to each other and nobody knew who it was, she added. Well, so another life has been lost there after an attack over the weekend in the same Birmingham again. Well. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's move on straight to some of the other stories making the rounds this morning before we bring the first part of the program to close, to have Mr. Dan Tabiri, the CEO of GIL Accountancy Services and Money Man, coming in to bring us affordable home ownership schemes. Ooh, you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, now, so on the dog issue, well, the American Bully XL dog is to be banned. The Prime Minister has announced after a man died following a suspected attack. Rishi Sunak said the dog was a danger to our communities, particularly our children, and will be banned by the end of the year. The announcement came after a man who was attacked by 2 dogs in Walsall on Thursday died on Friday morning. The Prime Minister described it as another suspected XL bully attack. It is clear this is not about a handful of badly trained dogs. It is a pattern of the behavior and it cannot go on, he said. Speaking on the video on X, formerly known as Twitter, Mr. Sunak said he was ordering work from police and experts to legally define the breed behind the recent attack, so that it can then be banned and the Dangerous Dogs Act, under the Dangerous Dogs Act, which applies in England, Wales and Scotland. Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, I was walking in town and I saw one like that, but the owner had it on chain and I was watching them quietly from a distance. Quietly. Why do they have those dogs? Is it to bully people into submission? Why do they have them? Well. So if they say they are going to be banned, what are they? How are they going to do that? Are they going to be putting them down, or are they going to ship them all out? Well, I wouldn't want to say the rest. Well, listen, I said, Starr Radio UK. It's a delicacy for some people, you know. So maybe those who come, okay, I won't say it. Those who eat it might think that, that is a good one. We can have that. Well, listen, it is Starr Radio UK. Now, the final story from the UK front. Port Talbot still works, given 500 million by UK government. Yet, Port Talbot still works will be given up to 500 million by the UK government in a bid to keep the plant open and produce steel in a greener way. Tata Steel will add 700 million of its own as it invests in cutting emissions. It has asked ministers to provide a bigger chunk of the cost, but the package could mean as many as 3,000 job losses across the UK. The site in South Wales is home to Britain's biggest steel works. Now, the steel works features two blast furnaces working around the clock to produce steel used in everything from tin cans to submarines. But the site is also one of the UK's largest polluters. The UK government has agreed to fund the installation of new electric arc furnaces for steel making. The 1.25 billion furnaces are expected to be up and running within 3 years of getting regulatory planning approval. Tata Steel is expected to announce. The company is expected to warn there will be a transition period, including potential deep restructuring at the plant. The UK government said the deal has the potential to safeguard over 5,000 jobs across the UK. And this is where I bring the first part of the program to a close. We're going to take some music and then prepare ourselves for Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, for him to come your way with the Money Hour. And today we are looking at affordable home ownership schemes. So stay tuned and don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's go.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
It's like my favorite song on this album, y'all. It's no secret in our world. People like to talk the things they know and the ones they don't. They will spread lies and rumors just to be known. So why are you wasting your time like this? Hearing those things that break your heart. Give no attention, give no thoughts. Cause people talk, but they'll never help you walk. So whenever they speak, look up and you will see a broken pencil and a sheet. And tell them, say, I'm writing names of talkatives. Yeah.
All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All of this noise you're making on me.
Teacher, let the way come.
Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
There are many.
This is Starr Radio UK.
And to be honest, many are not nice. So don't hear something and pick a knife. Cause most of these things are nothing but lies. Teacher said be careful how you hear. Cause there are talkatives here, they are everywhere. So silence the voices in your head and give no attention to your fears. I'm writing
names of talkatives. All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes.
As for me,
I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All of this noise.
This is Starr Radio UK.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Teacher will
20.
get you when he comes. I have a race. No time to waste.
Can we talk?
Yeah.
Can we talk? Yeah. Call him, say
talkatives.
Do you know any?
Talkatives.
Yes. Have you met any?
Talkatives.
Can we write some?
Talkatives.
List some names of.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, writing names of talkatives by Kofi Boham. I hope that you are enjoying it and it's making your day. As I did say, we're going to be having Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GR Accountancy Services, our money man.
So don't hear something
and he's going to be talking to us about affordable home ownership schemes.
These things are nothing.
How are you going through all these challenging and difficult times? Anything? What is the way forward? But you know what? With knowledge is power. So you're going to be sharing some knowledge with us this afternoon. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Keep your dial so long on Starr Radio UK and enjoy that music. And I'll be bringing him your way in a moment. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial.
Attention to your fears. I'm writing names of targeted. All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes. As for me, I have a race. No time to waste. No time to waste. I'm writing names of talkers. I'm writing names of talkers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of this noise you're making on me. 4, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Can we talk? Call him, said. Do you know any? Yeah. Have you met any?
The best radio show.
Some names of talkatives. I am going now. Yeah. Some friends are. Some family members. Some landlords are. I said your exes are.
Okay, yes, writing names of talkatives. By Kofi Boham. For anything that is not giving you any progress, you have to get rid of it. In a nutshell, that's what he's saying. But we'll bring to you tailor-measured programs, one that will meet your needs wherever you might be. So, Starr Radio UK, once again, a Friday edition of the morning show. The time now, 12:39. I don't know why today I'm just saying 10. Maybe you have to look at that number 10. Maybe I'm going to number 10 down the street, whatever that. But now let's quickly cross over to Kent, where our money man is.
You are very quiet.
Don't you worry, I'll bring you the rest of that tune as the program unfolds. But now it's my singular honor to welcome the one and only CEO of GI Consultancy Services. Yes, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO, GI Accountancy Services. I said consultancy, accountancy services, Mr. Dan Tabiri, who is joined us this afternoon. Mr. Tabiri, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Archie. It's a pleasure to come your way again this afternoon.
Yes, we always love to have you here, sir. How are you doing, and how is the family as well?
Yes, I'm doing great, and yes, the family is good as well. We are grateful to be alive and healthy, and yeah, all thanks to God.
Thank God. We thank God for that. A quick one before we come to the topic that you've given to us, that we're going to be looking at the affordable home ownership scheme. Now, people are of the view that the governor of the central bank might, let me put it that way, increase the interest rates again. What do you think? What's your prediction?
Well, looking into the crystal ball at this time is very, very dangerous. The interest rate movement by the Monetary Policy Council really is being driven by inflation, the urge to control inflation. So depending on where the indicators of inflation is at the moment, that is where we expect it to go. Yes, the Monetary Council, the Bank of England, was being urged to continue to raise interest rates, in order to bring inflation down to a rate that is affordable or easier on the economy. But then again, raising interest rates also has its downside, as in it also causes homeowners struggle with mortgage payments, and if you're not careful, the whole aim or objective of increasing interest rates becomes counterproductive. So the governor of the Bank of England is in quite a tricky position where he needs to be able to find a fine balance between the level of inflation and also where he's supposed to peg interest rates.
Okay.
So having said that, I mean, the last interest rates rise since the last interest rates rise, there has been indications that inflation is gradually coming under control. If anything at all, the rise of increases which we were experiencing has slowed down, and therefore we can see that the interest rates rises that have happened is having an effect on the market. Now, in that case, the question for the governor to answer is, do we still need to make further increases in interest rates to hasten the speed of the drop of inflation, or do we keep it where it is to allow the free market to have its own way and perhaps adjust inflation downwards gradually, bearing in mind that other homeowners are also struggling with the payments of interest and all that stuff. So there's a fine balance. It's difficult to predict where it will go, but I would, given where we are with inflation, if I am to gamble when we say stake my money on black or white, black or red, I would say perhaps that they would hold for the next quarter at least to see where inflation is.
Okay. Well, listeners, you guys. So I told you, if you want to know, that's where you have to be. Dizzy Man 123. Thank you very much. So I'm listening now, Archie. Yes, Dizzy Man. Nice to have you here as well. But listeners, the discussion I'm going to be having now pertains to the UK. It's pertaining to the UK. Okay. Yes. So now we're talking about affordable home ownership schemes, and one of the areas why I picked up the interest rate bit was that mortgage owners are complaining. People are virtually struggling. But is there a way to have an affordable home ownership at this time?
Well, that's a good question. So with the interest rates rises at the moment, homeowners are struggling, and people are looking to fix their mortgages for a much more longer term than a short term, just so that it gives them certainty on their outgoings, and they have something that they can plan with, and also to make sure that if interest rates rises further, it will not affect them. So that is the catch-22 situation for existing homeowners. Now, affordable home ownership schemes, it's obviously targeted at people who are trying to get onto the property ladder for the first time.
Okay, first-time buyers.
So it's not only the interest rates which become very prohibitive, but also how to get onto the ladder, how to raise the deposit, how to save money towards it, and all the things that you have to prepare yourself to buy a house or a home is what we want to look at today. We know that there's definitely shortage of housing all over the UK, and people are really, really struggling to find homes to rent. And therefore, if you have the opportunity to have an affordable home for yourself, then that will probably ease some of the burden on the problems we have in the rental market at the moment. So that is what we're looking to cover some of the schemes that are available. Still, a lot of them have been pulled off, but there are still some available which we can continue to take advantage of. And that's what I want to bring to your listenership this afternoon.
Wow. Listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, a money man with us. And as he said, we're looking at affordable home ownership schemes. So their schemes are there, though. We see interest rate and everything, and first-time buyers, and you have the deposit and everything. But he says that, look, there is a scheme there that can help you. So what are some of these schemes, and can you throw more light on it for us, please?
Right. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of the schemes have been pulled out. For example, the equity loan scheme, where you could actually get a loan to pay for part of your deposit. In England, it has been pulled out. I believe it's still available if you're buying a home in Wales and you are a first-time buyer. So yeah, people can check that out. But there's still around shared ownership schemes. Shared ownership schemes. So you can buy part of the home that you live in, or part of the home that you want to live in. And there are some criteria of properties and areas which we would want to look into. So the way that the scheme works is that you can buy a home through the shared ownership scheme if you cannot afford all of the deposits and mortgage payments for your home. That would meet your needs. So you can buy a share of the property and also pay rent to the landlord on the rent. Yeah. So, for example, you can buy a home through shared ownership scheme. You can buy, let's say, anything between 10 to 75% of the home's full market value. So, depending on how much you can afford, you can take a share of that home. So, the payments that you'll be required to pay becomes affordable, because what will happen is that part of the payment each month that you make will go towards your mortgage, and part of the payment would also go towards to the landlord towards your rent. So it becomes an affordable way to own a home. And yes, the ownership would then be, if you buy, for example, 50%, then you own 50% of the property, and the landlord also owns 50%. So instead of paying 100% rent, you'll be paying 50% of the rent that is due on the property,
plus your mortgage, if that is what.
Sorry?
Plus your mortgage?
Plus your mortgage, correct.
Okay.
So your mortgage, if you have 50% of the share of the property, then your mortgage is also based on 50% of the value of the property.
Okay. Good. Please go on, sir.
Yeah. So you can, like I said, you can buy usually between 25% and 75%. On some homes, you can buy, actually buy up to 10, up to 10%. Not up to 10%, so a minimum of 10%. But 25% to 75% is what is generally available on the market at the moment. But on a limited number of properties, you can still get between 10 and 25% if that is what how far your money can take you. So you take out a mortgage on the share that you take, and you pay, and also pay a deposit, usually looking at between 5 and 10% of the share that you are buying.
Okay.
Yeah. So not all homes are available on the shared ownership scheme. One, it has to be a new build.
I see.
Or it has to be an existing home through a shared ownership scheme resale. So where somebody has bought it on a scheme, on a shared ownership scheme, it's an existing home or an old house, and they are selling it, then you can also buy it through the shared ownership scheme.
Okay.
And these shared ownership schemes are mostly arranged by the landlord, the local councils, housing associations. So if you are interested in having a shared ownership scheme, you could also speak to them and see what they have going in your area. They would show you the property. Sometimes these properties even haven't been built yet. They will be able to tell you what the conditions are on the shared ownership schemes and what you need to do to be able to put your name down to acquire them. If there are ones that have already been built, then you can simply go ahead and process your documentation in order to buy one.
Okay, interesting. Well, listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, a money man, bringing you the Money Hour, and we are talking about affordable home ownership schemes, and he's putting a few across for you. As I said earlier on, it is applicable to the UK and even some to various nations in the UK. So please make sure you do diligence to that before just misquote us. But Lizzie says that great analyst. Thank you very, very much, Lizzie. Thank you very much there as well. Okay, so now move on to some of the other and how people can go by it, sir.
Yeah, so I'll move on to the other scheme that I want to talk about. But before I do that, we need to also cover one important criteria of the share ownership scheme, which is that in order to qualify for these schemes, your household income together should be less than 80,000 a year. So in this case, if you have a man and a wife, a man and a woman in the household who are both earning, total household income should not exceed £80,000.
Okay.
If you are in London, then the threshold is £90,000 to qualify.
Okay.
Now, another scheme which a lot of people have not been taking advantage of is what we call the lifetime ISA.
Yeah.
The lifetime ISA. This is very important to help people who are between the ages of 18 and over 18 and under 40 years. People who are over this limit will not be able to take part in this scheme, unfortunately. So you will be, if you are between 18 and 40, you can go on the scheme. If you go on the scheme before the age of 40, then you can continue to contribute to the scheme up until you are 50 years. So you have a 10-year allowance to be able to continue to make contributions into the scheme.
Okay.
But if you are over 40, then you cannot start at all.
Okay.
Now, the scheme setup is that you can put in up to £4,000 a year tax-free into the lifetime ISA. So it's a individual savings account specifically set up called the lifetime ISA, and you can put in £4,000 a year. Any interest on the savings that you put in is tax-free. And the benefits of this is that any amount that you put into your savings each year, the government is going to match it with an additional bonus of 25%.
Okay.
So if you put, for example, if you put a maximum of £4,000 in every year as your savings, the government is going to give you an additional bonus of £1,000 to add on to it. So that will give you £5,000 each year. So let's say you are able to do this continuously for say 8 years. For 8 years, that will give you £5,000 times 8. That will give you £40,000 that you would have saved, that can count or go towards you putting down as a deposit on a house. So this is a very good way of people trying to save. So if you're trying to save money towards a deposit for a house, don't just put it in your bank account, because if you put it in your bank account, you are only going to get the small interest rate that is on the market at the moment. Why don't you put it in the lifetime ISA, where you will then gain an additional 25% bonus from the government to use towards your buying your property. It so happens that you are not able to use the money to buy a property. The money can, you will not lose it, because it goes towards, you cannot withdraw it, but you can take it after you are over the age of 60 pounds as some form of pension.
Oh, okay.
So it wouldn't be money that you have lost. It wouldn't be money that you will still get the bonus as well.
Okay.
Even if you don't use it to buy the property.
Okay, so that just to clarify something there, that means that the ISA, you deposit whatever money there, you can't take it out.
Sorry, come again.
So you deposit whatever money that you save there, you can't take it out unless you are buying a property.
Absolutely, you can't take it out.
Okay.
If you take it out, you pay what we call a withdrawal charge, and that withdrawal charge is set at 25%. So basically,
you take your money.
the money that the government would have contributed for the bonus will be charged back to you.
Okay.
If you take the money back, you can only take your money and you will not earn the government bonus.
Interesting. Okay, go on, sir. Go on.
Yeah, so those are the two schemes that are currently going, especially in England. There are other schemes if you go into Northern Ireland and Wales and Scotland, which are still available. But as far as England is concerned, shared ownership scheme is still around, and we can take a look at that. And then this lifetime ISA is also around for people to take advantage of.
Okay. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, you want some information? We're giving you some information, but maybe you need some more details of the qualification. He did talk about that. It said, well, you have to earn at least, less than 80K as a household if you are using the ISA. If you are in London, it comes to about 90K for a family. As a household, that's what you are earning. But the younger ones who are coming up now, if somebody, let's say they've got their parents are going to help them to do this ISA, to deposit some money in, will they be charged for that? Because there is a limit to how much a parent can give to their child in a year, right?
Yes, so parents can that is the inheritance tax that falls under inheritance tax rules. But that only comes into reckoning if the unfortunate situation of a death becomes an issue.
Okay.
If there's no inheritance tax issue, then by all means, parents can help their children by way of saving any amount possible.
Okay.
Without having any tax implications.
Oh, okay, good. So the parents who are ready to help the kids, feel free, just do it. There will be no tax implication until you kick the bucket, right? Good. Listeners,
correct. And it's a good way to do it. So if you have, let's say, £20,000 that you want to help your child with, why don't you give it to them in £4,000 chance every year? Then they save that amount. Rather than giving them 20,000 at a go, because if you give them 20,000 at a go to put into their lifetime ISA, whenever they put that money, they put that lump sum in, they can only get, they can't put more than 4,000 in a year. They can only do up to the limit of 4,000. So you can equally do that in small chunks. to help them raise the money for their deposits on their future homes.
Okay. And someone has asked a question. He said, "How easy is it for one to, the shared ownership one? How to, if I'm ready to sell, how easy is it? Because they are looking at not getting caught in there, they cannot get out of it."
Yeah, so it's not difficult at all. I'll tell the person to speak to a housing association who have properties near where they are trying to live. Mm-hmm. And have the conversations with them. If they fall within the criteria, like we have mentioned, mm-hmm. where their household income is less than £8,000, and they are looking to get a new home or a home that is already on the scheme, it shouldn't be difficult at all. It's just a matter of providing evidence, source documents, proof of their income, their identification documents, to be able to go on the scheme. That is all it is. It's not as difficult as people may perceive. Mm-hmm. So yes, they should speak to a housing association. I think that would be the starting point, and they will guide them, give them all the processes that they need to prepare themselves to go through.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Tabiri. Listeners, our time is fast spent, but we have the money man giving us all the knowledge that he's got pertaining to you owning an affordable home. Being an owner of that, one of a couple of schemes there that he's put across. But we'll go back to him for the rest that he has, and he will put his contact details there as well. He is not a housing, what do you call him? I wanted to say officer, like working in the council. No, he's an accountant. Okay, so you have any issue pertaining to your accounts, whether it be a corporate one or you're self-employed or whatever it is, you can get in touch with him and he'll help you on that front. So we go back to Mr. Dan Tabiri for more information, and then he'll put all his contact details and everything across. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, so this is by way of helping people who have been scratching their heads, wanting to know in this difficult market how they'll be able to get onto the housing ladder. And these are two of the ways that you can look at and pursue. By all means, look into it, do some further research, speak to housing associations like I have said, and see where it will take you. And you'll be surprised what is available. Help is available out there only if you ask the right question. I'm available to answer any accountancy related matters or any issues which pertain to the discussions that we've had this afternoon. You can reach out to me on 07961 248834, 07961248834, or you can reach out to me on my email at dan@gilaccountants.com, and it's accountants with an S.
Yes. Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very, very much for this wonderful time and dedication that you're giving us today.
You are most welcome, and I urge everyone to continue to keep that dial on Starr Radio UK for your informative and entertaining programs all day round. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely afternoon, and we'll catch up later, sir.
And you. Thank you.
All right, then. Welcome. Bye. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. And today we looked at affordable home ownership schemes. So, listeners, we are going to bring the program to a close. As they say, God willing, we're going to be bringing you some lovely programs next week, from next week going. And as I did announce earlier on, let me put that announcement across. Now, BB Clement will be at Manchester, UK, at the RCCG Christ for Life Parish Church, and where she will be talking about business and wealth creation secrets. She'll be giving business and wealth creation secrets. She is a speaker, a trainer, and a business consultant. Now, you want to know more? Make your way there. Those of you in Manchester, this Sunday, exactly at 11 a.m., that is 17th of September 2023, at 11 a.m., she is going to be there to bring you the best of everything that you need to know. So this is where I bring the program to a close for today. It's been a pleasure coming your way, and I sincerely apologize for the earlier part of the program where we're having a bit of a challenge, but well, it's all been sorted out nicely, and we are all here, and we've enjoyed the rest of the program. But let me bring you this music, names of targetives, and then I will sign up. So on that note, I say stay blessed to my producer, Mr. Francis Gaye, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, and Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. I say, have a top of the day. Be easy, man. Hey, have a top of the day. And as we saw on this platform, may Nigeria not happen to you. Stay blessed and bye-bye for now.
It's like my favorite song on this album, y'all. It's no secret in our world. People like to talk the things they know and the ones they don't. They will spread lies and rumors just to be known. So why are you wasting your time like this? Hearing those things that break your heart. Give no attention, give no thoughts. Cause people talk, and they'll never help you walk. So whenever they speak, look up and you will see a broken pencil and a sheet. And tell them, say, I'm writing names of talkatives. Yeah.
All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All of this noise you're making on me.
Teacher, let the one come.
Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
There are many voices in this life, and to be honest, many are not nice. So don't hear something and pick a knife. Cause most of these things are nothing but lies. Teacher said be careful